British Touring Car Championship hailed from the greatest racetrack in the world this past weekend. Home of Scottish motorsport, Knockhill, deep in the heart of the barren wasteland that is Fife. It's a beacon of light in the otherwise hellish landscape around that part of the world. Wrong side of the Forth, and it's horrific weather as always at Knockhill. So we've got a pure Scottish experience this weekend. Some good racing, some crashes, what to talk about. Joined as always by Tom and by Nick. Welcome again.
Hello.
Hey, that was your best intro ever, that.
Yeah.
Really hit home.
It's quite easy for me to talk down on Fife. So that was pretty tame for what normally comes out of my mouth about those people across the water.
Okay, moving on.
Yes. listen to some Falkirk podcasts about that. Anyway, so British Touring Cars was back at the weekend, and we had a couple of bits of news going into the weekend. Rob Huff was in for Team Hard for possibly one round, potentially another round later in the year. He's on is it a TCR tour?
Oh, yes, TCR World Tour.
So he's doing that, but he joined in for one weekend and was pretty decent, considering he's not driven one of these cars.
For me, it was pretty decent, but it showed how competitive and how difficult and how unique a BTCC car and field is. Because this is someone who can win races on, well, the now defunct WTCR, the World Touring Car Championship, and then they've got this sort of half version for this year, TCR World Tour. He's a former world champion, and you can't just rock up with those credentials and win a race. Okay, he's in the hard Cupra. Don't be too harsh. But then Lloyd whooped him all weekend.
Yeah, but
no testing though, so that is
the
massive caveat.
I was going to say he did better than any other rookie. I think who's come straight in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for a one-off with no testing, no nothing.
I would like to see him return. I'm very surprised he took the offer, but then listen to some of his interviews. He's made a very good point, which is he's with Audi. Yeah. And Audi has pulled out of all motorsport apart from Formula 1 at the end of the season. So there'll be no Audi touring cars or GT3 cars that are produced anymore. They'll do some after-sales support. I don't believe they'll have any works drivers on contract anymore either. It's a big shift in motorsport, actually.
Yeah, I like what he said as well. He said if I'd just be sitting at home watching it, so I thought I might as well be here driving in it.
Well, hang on a minute.
Assuming he wasn't paid for it.
Does that apply to me?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He's been very vocal in the past, actually, and I should have looked at the quotes before and about how he loves BTCC, but it's not like, you get paid to drive elsewhere, but here you have to find the budget, and then from that budget you take a wage. It's a different model. So,
yeah.
It might be just a freebie deal, you're right, yeah.
I think that kind of just led to the departure of Nick Hamilton being confirmed over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There is going to be a spare seat in the next round, but I think all signs point to it's not going to be him.
Strange that. Why is there no formal departure message? Unless I missed it.
Yeah, there doesn't appear to have been an official announcement as such. Just that guy left.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Which is a bit out of order, I think.
I'd love to know what's going on there.
There will presumably be someone in that car for the next round because they can forfeit the TBL if they don't.
Yep.
I mean, I'll have a go.
Get Bobby Thompson back in there.
Yeah, exactly.
The Bobby Thompson one confuses me because their statement said he made all financial commitments and all racing commitments, and you're like, oh, why did you get rid of him then?
Yeah.
He did everything you asked, so there's obviously something more there that we don't know about. Barry Plowman's though back at Team Hard after his one race visit to One Motorsport. Heard that in commentary. It's just weird.
Yeah, he was wandering around in the back of shot in the Hard merchandise, so wonder what's going on there as well. It's all going a bit weird, but we don't know, so it's not fair to say too much, I guess.
Yeah. And a bit of bad news before the race as well, because Neil Brown, the engine builder, passed away over the weekend at 74, or that's last week I think he passed away. And that's a name that you hear a lot around British motorsport, and it's sad to see him go as well. Quite soon after, obviously, Steve Neal passing away as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
legends
they're very
of the
closely
sport.
linked as well because what was it? He provided the engines for all 6 of Team Dynamics. World Championships, British Touring Car Championship wins.
Yeah.
Yep. Still provides One Motorsport with an engine. And is it Westbury Racing and Toyota as well?
Yes, it is Toyota as of this year.
Yeah. But also, outside of BTCC, he had the Works Audi DTM contract when those engines were V8.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal. In the noughties and the 10s and stuff. And then Gordon Shedden did an interview, didn't he?
On the broadcast.
Yeah, and he was saying how allegedly, one of the Goodwood meetings that he was racing with Neil Brown at, they were tuning these little Austins, and maybe the Audi V8 was a bit late for 1 week because it was trying to eke out. Yeah, I thought that was a great story.
Yeah, he does seem like a true just legend of motorsport in general. If it's had an engine in it, he's probably worked on it.
Very sad. But the company continues, hopefully.
Oh, yes.
Fingers crossed. So, into the weekend then on the racing, and there was a few issues in qualifying and practice with cars picking up damage on the curbs, and as Tim Harvey pointed out on commentary, they've actually reprofiled some of the curbs to bring them back up to their original height, which I think Ash Sutton had damper issues in practice because of that. So that was done I don't know when it was done, but obviously since last year. So straight into qualifying then, and it was a drying session. Started off wet, got drier, and it was also a top 10 shootout. I messaged the wee group chat after the first round of qualifying saying this is going to be tasty because it was a right jumbo in the top 10. And then Ash Sutton stuck it on pole. In a very Max Verstappen-esque fashion by taking it by 0.006 of a second from Josh Cook.
Boo. No. He's amazing.
It was good to see, though, just how close it was. Was it 3 cars within under 300ths?
Oh, wow. That's mad. Also, the Sutton lap is a spectacle to watch.
Yes.
Like, the way he's flinging it around, fair play. That's incredible. It was just a lap to... I love Knockhill so much because just a car on its own is exciting to watch around there.
Oh, yeah.
And also, Rob Huff made the point of if he was hitting the curbs like he could in a BTCC car, the front upright would snap.
Yes.
So that's why I prefer the BTCC. One of the reasons I prefer the BTCC cars over a TCR. Although I know they're not impervious, and clearly we were just saying the dampers used in practice. They can still take a bit of a beating.
The Spice Girls brother,
Paul O'Neill.
Paul O'Neill. He said on the broadcast that he was up here for the TCR meet a few weeks ago, and there was just cars breaking down all the time at that. So he was expecting a lot of problems, but BTCC cars have made strong stuff. So it was Ash Sutton, Josh Cook, Jake Hill. Hill was devastated. He thought he should have had pole, but he was 0.03 off of pole position. Butcher was 4th, Ingram, Morgan, Moffat, Tuckenden, Chilton, Lloyd. So it had a really mixed up start. Started off dry for race 1 on Sunday morning, and everyone but Jelly, Huff, Doble and Butel are on softs. Jelly thought that would give him the softs for the race 3, and
the old Aidan Moffat strategy.
Yeah,
yes.
You don't do that in Knockhill because
No.
the weather gods will screw it up for you. So Dan Rowbottom stops on track pre-race and he gets towed into the inside of the final hairpin and misses out completely on race 1.
Could I just interject with some Rowbottom stuff? In qualifying, was he having a go at Halstead? And that interview was pretty spicy.
Oh, he hit him.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Oh, I wasn't sure who it was, but I believe it was Halstead. He didn't state in his post-qualifying interview, but he did say the same driver keeps slowing down on track.
Yeah, they said that in the qualifying
enough.
package.
Ah, okay, did they? To confirm it.
The Rowbottom had hit him.
Right. So he had quite a bent Ford. But I don't think this whole start failure was anything to do with that, maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Probably not, but you never know.
Yeah.
was unfortunate that he had to park it there as well because they didn't get a chance to work on it till after the race.
Yeah, that's ruined his weekend. He's very up and very down, and he's never in the middle somehow. But this is unfortunate. It's definitely better than underneath, though.
So am I.
See, Team Hard, there's plenty of qualified drivers, even on this podcast. So, race start, and Ash Sutton keeps the lead from Cook and Hill at the beginning of the race. Collard gets round Dan Lloyd at Duffus. Duffer's Dip, I always call it. Is it
That
Duffus?
is the full name. It is Duffus, according
Duffus.
to the track map.
Yeah, I've always called it Duffers. Clearly.
Duffers just sound better.
Mm.
But it's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. So, Rory Butcher has a go at Jake Hill at the hairpin, tries to go around outside for third because the BMW struggled at that point. Yeah. Local expert tried that move and then ends up letting Tom Ingram through.
He did is the best qualifying of his season. And he looked quick, but that was a bad car placement, I thought there. You just have to follow him single file. If he's covered inside, don't go around the outside.
We then see a rare mistake from Ash Sutton on lap 4 of the race, going up to the chicane. He takes the first part of the chicane weird. It kind of clips the tyres slightly, takes a weird angle, and then starts bouncing him over the second curb at completely the wrong angle. Sends him out with a tyre in the gravel, almost spins it, bangs into the side of Josh Cook, and Cook goes through to take the lead.
I thought that was insane. I thought, here we go. Cook's on for the win. The much-deserved win after all the trials and tribulations of the year. And it was also very un-Ash Sutton-like. I thought, oh, this is it. This is the moment he's cracked.
Mm.
I was wrong.
Cook was really putting the pressure on him.
Yeah, he was quicker at that point, wasn't he? Looked like it.
He was basically pushing him around half the lap. And it was, you could see Cook attacking those curbs much more than Ash was.
Yeah.
Although there is a point later in the race where Ash tries to do the Rick Parfitt line.
I don't know how he got away with that. That is the Rick Parfitt line, you're right.
It is.
And somehow got away with it.
Cook looked the most aggressive on those curbs, I think, all weekend out of the whole grid.
I thought Jake Hill gave it a go at one point, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
Sam Osborne then hits his teammate. Dan Camish just completely turns into him.
That was weird. He's trying to cut back, isn't he? Because he's lost position, is it? But there's someone fully alongside.
Yes.
His teammate.
I was very surprised that the wheels didn't fall off at that point.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't the greatest start in the world, and there's lots of cars around, but yeah, you've got to be a bit more aware than that.
Yeah, it was just a bit haphazard, I thought.
Ash Sutton then mounts a little charge on Cook at Clark's, and then Hill joins the party, and you've got 3 cars fighting. Hill sticks his nose up the inside of the hairpin at one point, but can't get their drive off the corner. It's getting very tight, and then it starts raining. Starts at the hairpin and quickly works its way around the track. Some of the back markers come in. You've got, I think, Chilton maybe being the first to come in and pit, and then a bunch more do. Ingram comes in as well.
But some teams are quick to change tyres and some aren't. Like some of the back markers could have done really well if they didn't go a lap down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And accelerator too quick. Changing tyres for wet. As they keep getting themselves disqualified. As we'll see in a little while. It happened to him earlier, I'm sure. I'm sure Ronan Pearson got disqualified.
Yeah, it was third as well, I think.
Yeah. So it's fully wet. Ingram pits, and it's basically the front two don't. You've got Sutton and Cook still scrapping out for the lead. Sutton gets up inside the hairpin, but can't keep the place. There's a run down the start finish straight towards Duffus, and Cook shuts the door on Ash really aggressively across the track. And as soon as he did it, I just went, oh no.
Yeah.
because Ash bailed out and took the racing line, and Cook tried to take turn 1 at a ridiculous angle. He had no chance of getting that around there safely. So Sutton sweeps around the outside. Cook goes in at a funny angle. The car slides, straightens up, bounces off the side of Sutton, and he's off and into the tyres, which spoils his weekend after it looked really promising for at least a podium here.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. It was very lucky for Ash that his car didn't get speared off the other way. But yeah, it was a shame for Cook. It's good to see him fighting though in that weather.
Oh man! Every time they went around a corner, my heart was in my mouth. I just thought they're totally going to spear off here. Cook was driving a bit defensive, and like you say, Colin, very aggressive. But you'd think maybe the mindset might be, well, I've got nothing to lose, and Sutton has got everything to lose, right? In terms of the championship. So that was the right time to do it. But I was also worried that when Sutton went wide at the chicane and had a slight oversteer and Cook got the lead, they made contact, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt for certain, oh no, that's knocked the rear out of alignment on the Honda. I don't know if it did or not. But from that moment on, he seemed to be in the lead and very defensive. And but anyway, yeah. Slight rub at the wrong angle there. He couldn't even, it wasn't sideways enough to floor the throttle and bring it round, was it? It was just like,
yeah.
He had no other option other than smashing into the barrier, sadly.
Yeah. Well, that's just all there is out there as well, isn't it?
But
it's
anyway,
not somewhere that people go off usually, so.
No, it's not. Plato, was it 2011? With Tom Boardman? Remember when Tom Boardman won a race? But he tapped Plato off into the barrier there and then got disqualified. Oh, no, right. Oh, there's some weird thing where the wind stood, but he didn't get any points. Kind of weird.
1999, Plato got punted off there.
Ah, that's the good one.
Because it was on Twitter today.
Was it?
1999. So, it's first
the
time I've ever seen
Nescafe
it.
Laguna.
Yes, it was a Renault, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Green Laguna. So they're the incidents I can think. David Leslie once rolled it at that corner. We can touch upon him in later. Isn't there a award now for fastest lap for him? In his name?
Yes, because it's the John Cleland Pole Award.
Yeah,
and he's never had pole at Knockhill, which is quite amusing.
And then it's David Leslie's if his quickest lap in the first race, I think.
It's something along those lines. It's good to see he gets a mention because David Leslie is a legend.
Yeah, I know. What a great driver.
I should say was a legend, bless him.
Yeah. So, anyway, Cook's car is not enough for a safety car at this point.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Apparently not.
It's a bit weird, I thought. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a few instances like that. Again, this weekend, even in the support races, there was a few dodgy ones.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Taylor-Smith tries to make sure there will be a safety car and punts the lid off. So
that was terrible.
Yeah, that's great from Aaron. He's on a great running form of just murdering people. Croft, he had a few scalps that he took as well.
He didn't get He didn't get anything for that, I don't think, though.
I didn't see anything, but he was a lap down and he was on wets and Lloyd was on dryers, so there is
we didn't see a clear
there's
angle.
a big disparity, but still not great.
No, it didn't look good though, did it?
No.
Oh yes, he got a 1 second addition to his race time.
Okay.
That'll hurt him.
But officially, that is actually for obtaining unfair advantage under yellow light signals. So
I was just going to say that's the wrong thing. I've got the BARC website up with the things. We'll touch upon that particular penalty in a minute.
So there's still a few cars trying to stay out. One of them is Jade Edwards, who Tom Chilton calls a damsel in distress after the race.
Oh, I know. Do you know what? As soon as he said that, Lisa looked at him.
Yeah, it was just
whoa.
Like, did he say that?
Yes, and she did respond on Twitter. So,
did she? I didn't see that. Amazing.
She did saying that I'm no damsel and I wasn't in distress. Basically, I think there was a gist.
She was up to fourth at this point, or something, wasn't she? On the slate.
Yeah, but I think when the safety car eventually came, why was the safety car out again? Crease. Yeah.
Yep.
Crease was off. Sutton was all over the place as well.
Yeah, it was.
Crease went off, and that was eventually what triggered the safety car.
He got stuck by looks things. It wasn't like gravel. It was just like had no grip on the. It must have been on slicks as well on the wet grass, maybe.
Yeah, was that on the inside of the?
It was near Cook's car. No.
Oh no, it was that one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so safety car. Can you put under a safety car in BTCC? I meant to ask this at the weekend because didn't see anyone do it.
I think so, but
Oh, I'd have to watch the full race back
well,
there.
Camish did, but that was for an issue.
Because Sutton didn't pit until the restart. And
Yeah.
I just wondered. It's something I meant to look up.
Well, he did say after the race he wished he'd pit a lap earlier and said that he should have pit a lap earlier. So that implies that he could have done. But yeah, I don't know.
John Cleland said he should have done, so that's a fact.
Yes.
Yeah. At the restart, Aidan Moffat is briefly a hero on the slick tyres before then. When I saw him go off, I went, that's the most Aidan Moffat line ever. That's properly on the inside of a corner. As he just goes completely off at turn 1, which was a shame. Kind of ruined his weekend there. Rory Butcher doesn't take the chicane either. And there's a hit, was it with... Oh, you've got it down here as Jelly.
I'm
Was
pretty
it
sure
BMW?
it was.
Yeah. So there's cars everywhere at that point. Moffat loses a chunky's car just on the grass. And then Butcher is out again.
Yeah, Moffat was crazy because when he first saw the damage, he's like, oh, he's smashed into someone, maybe Butcher or something.
That's what I thought.
But no, he just hit a divot or something weird off the track. You know, like into a golf bunker or something.
We are fond of them up here.
Also, the first time I saw Butcher off, I was like, why is he not trying to get out of that? He's clearly not stuck in the gravel. And the car looked all right. I'm like, come on, man. Why is he getting out of the car? But then later in the safety car, they're trying to get it in like an access road. And the wheels are pointing in opposite directions, aren't they?
I love the fact the marshal was actually pointing to him like, no, go that way.
Yeah.
I really can't. I'm trying.
Yes. So there's cars everywhere, left, right, and centre. Darryl De Leon, his weekend or his race ends as well with damage. He's bumped into the wall in the first sector, I think. Oh, my memory's terrible.
Yeah, I can't remember where he crashed, but it was
under the safety car, I'm sure. He binned it, which isn't brilliant. So safety car comes in, but Nick.
Can I just mention Jade Edwards into the safety car at this point?
No? No? I mean, yes.
No.
So she's on slicks and the rain's coming down a lot and people can't get past her because it's safety car. I think this was Chilton, the whole comment he made after the race was in reference to this. And I can maybe only think that Aaron Taylor-Smith, Ash Sutton, and Jake Hill all got some sort of penalty. They're not Jake Hill, Stephen Jelly all got some sort of penalty for gaining an unfair advantage during race 1 under yellow light signals.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And Chilton said that some people in front of him went past Jade Edwards under safety car. But he wasn't sure who. So we're trying to piece it together there, but it could be that following investigation and viewing video evidence, you are guilty of contravening Motorsport UK general regulation.
So Chilton was ahead of all of these cars at this point.
Was he? Oh, it might not be that then.
I think it might be in the first safety car.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Ah, okay.
I think it's the first safety car because he lost a bunch of time and then recovered some of it.
Right. Theory out the window then, sorry. But
no, you're right. It's just I think it was our safety car.
Right, okay. But certainly, anyway, at the end of this wet safety car period, there's like the 6 cars on the road are way ahead. There's a massive gap to then some cars behind that. Because I think people are stuck behind Edwards at this point. Could be wrong. And also, I just want to pick up on the safety car. So they let some of the lap cars through, right?
I think so. It was very confusing to keep up with the cars at this point.
Yeah, because a load of cars, like half the grid or more, is a lap behind, right?
Yeah.
But what happened was they wanted to get Ingram to the front of the queue behind the safety car because he was the net leader at this point. So there was a load of cars a lap down ahead of him. So the safety car pulls over and waves them through. What I don't understand is why do you not let all of them through at that point then?
Yeah.
Why have you only let 6 of them through? Because then it's Ingram behind the safety car leading, but then there's a load of other lap cars, and the person in second
it was like 6 cars down the lane, wasn't it?
6 down cars the lane, yeah. And then there's no blue flags. Brilliant.
Do we know if there's an Australian driving the safety car this weekend, or bring back Michael Massey for the BTCC? He would have sorted those out.
But I don't know if the rules there were enacted in the right way, right? It could be that there's some strange rule where leader has to be behind the safety car, but other lap cars don't matter. It's very odd. Jake Hill certainly didn't have a moan about it after the race, but I would have been annoyed because he might not have known some of the lap cars had been let past at that point. But Ingram was given a clean track and Hill wasn't.
Yeah. I think Tim Harvey did make the point as well that there's no point in the marshals putting out blue flags as they haven't got a clue who's in what position.
Well, yeah, that's not really good enough.
No, I know. Just looking at it on screen, you were just like, I've got no idea who's where.
But if they let all the lap cars through, you would.
Yes.
So it was bad for spectating, bad for viewers, and bad for Jake Hill and others. In my opinion.
Some proper Knockhill rain has just started here. Yeah, safety cars are just looking messy this weekend. That's probably about it for race 1. Sutton managed to take 7 for Ronan Pearson at the end of the race into the final hairpin. Post-race, we get live shots of the roller failing to go under Tom Ingram's car.
Yeah.
So Tom Ingram and Chilton are disqualified, which puts Jake Hill up to first, Andrew Watson second, and Ricky Collard third. Sutton gets a penalty as well, which dropped him behind Ronan Pearson. Now, as I understand it, they don't test every car on the grid after the race for the right height, because I think Paul O'Neill did make a comment, well, if you had went down that full grid...
Yeah.
So I've got a feeling that means that they're only testing the front cars. But
I think they're only obliged to test the top 3, and then occasionally they will test a random car or 2 from the rest of the grid.
Yeah.
Which just does seem a bit strange.
It is. But that's an exceptional podium for Andrew Watson, who was brilliant at Donington in the wet at the start of the year as well.
He likes a bit of wet weather, doesn't he?
Was it
Would he be
race
fourth
2?
before that?
He really doesn't like. Sorry. Yes, he was fourth.
Yeah, so that's a great result anyway. But then bonus stayed within the rules, snagged the second. Fantastic.
But Accelerate seeming. This is the second time it's happened now. Raise your right height.
Yeah,
no one else seems to do it.
Don't know why it happens. And again, though, we can say, on into them, because actually, every Cooper, for all we know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tom Ingram was praising him for an F1 style pit stop, but
which was amazing. Yeah.
Take a couple of seconds though, Tom. Crank it off a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. Awkward interview for him. I think he just found out when Louise Goodman said something, right?
Yes, I know. He had that look in his eyes when she said about that, and he was just looked like, I'm going to kill someone. But he handled it quite well in the interview.
Oh, yeah. Ever the pro.
It brings Jake Hill back into conversation, no? Ash Sutton is the luckiest man in the world. After a nightmare race, he still managed to finish 6th. And ahead, he's the title challenger, gets nothing, and has to start from the back for race 2.
That mistake, or that procedure, or whichever way you look at it, has ruined the championship fight. Now, the ride height's got to be, that's the rule, so it's the team's fault. But, regardless of the scenario, it's gone wrong. Because it's not only taking away the points from Ingram, but like you say there, completely ruined the grid position for the next one. So it's completely changed the shape of the weekend and given Sutton more points in the meantime. I mean, oh dear.
Disaster. On the race 2 then, we heard from Ricky Collard pre-race how he was going to race with everything he had inside of him and go fighting for the win and everything. Louise Goodman?
Yeah,
Louise Goodman.
Oh, names this week. Louise Goodman was pre-race. I was like, I know I sound like your mum, but when you tend to race with your heart, it goes badly. It's like,
yeah.
She was pre-warning him, and I think even Rob Collard was outside the car like, calm it down, Ricky. But it gets a good start. Watson is nowhere in this race. Yes. Watson just goes backwards too.
Yeah.
He must have had an issue. Otherwise, that's just horrific. So he gets past him at the start and has a dodgy moment going into McIntyre's, gets past Belwoody cars, and ends up dropping down to the lower end of the point.
Not before biffing people from side by side contact. And
Oh yeah.
was it this one where he nearly flipped it at Duffers? Or the next one?
I can't remember.
Anyway,
it was later in the race.
it was very odd behaviour.
Yeah, it was a shame because he locked up going into McIntyre's, didn't he? And that just let
yeah.
everyone go past him.
Yeah.
Jerry Edwards is off. Sam Osborne continues to put his claim on the new Underneath title.
Yes.
There was a bit of a contact between those on the way up to the chicane, and she is off. Brings out the safety car, but she manages to get back into the race at this point. Race restart, and it was under investigation. I don't think anything came of it, but the restart was a bit convenient for Hill because his teammate behind Stephen Jelly was about 25 car lengths behind, which held up Ash Sutton for a couple of corners at least.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if that was deliberate, it didn't work.
I kind of hope it was deliberate, because if it wasn't, that is just even worse from Jelly.
Yeah, right. It's so lackadaisical and off the boil that you'd think. Yeah, it'd be terrible, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Colin Turkington is anonymous this weekend, other than every time we see him, something's going horribly wrong.
Wow. Nightmare. It went wrong in qualifying, didn't it? I don't know what happened there. And then never made progress. So that's championship over now.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And he was the lead BMW going into this. So I know it's great to see Hill have some good results at this point in the weekend. Really, for the championship fight, probably should have been Turkington. Anyway.
Stop.
Game over.
Stop. We missed something out for race 1.
I know. I was going to get to that for the end of race 2.
Oh, and it was a good one as well.
We say it now and then edit it in.
No. This is a one-take show.
Doble watch
was 9th. So, well done, him. What reminded me it was that it was George Gamble that biffed him off at the hairpin. So, yeah, previous mascot put Turkington off there. And was he more positions before the Butcher gets past the chicane as well, going up to Clark. Camish gets up the inside of the Morganator.
Yes, that's what David Addison decided to call him at this point, and I was like, where has that come from? I've never heard that before.
No, I have. He's used it before. Might be he was qualifying something. But yeah,
it's awful though.
It's so bad. Lisa, her eyes rolled so hard they fell out of her head. And rightly so, like the Morganator and Cookie and Tingram and Robo. Oh, stop it now.
Yeah. We'll ignore the nicknames for now on. But anyway, the Morganator has to pull into the pit for this with a prop bomb. And Josh Cook's making a great recovery. He's coming back through the field. Ingram's behind him, but he's not making as quick. Cook got past Camish into Clark's, again taking his aggressive line through the chicane. Ricky Collard takes to ambitious line into chicane and runs wide. At this point, so that might have been the one where he almost rolled it.
Not quite, no.
Oh, no,
that was in the next race.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was really erratic, yeah.
And Ingram passes the local Boyd, Rory Butcher into Duffus. Turkington again, doesn't really go anywhere. Huff just goes backwards in this race as well, but you can kind of understand with his lack of experience.
You never know, it might have been a free drive, but if you damage the car, you pay for it.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, stay away from Ricky Collard. And the Fords were weird this race, and for this weekend, you had Ash Sutton flying and everyone else struggling. Dan Camish was going backwards again in this race after a tricky qualifying.
Oh yeah, I forgot at qualifying. He went sideways and then went across the grass at the chicane and sort of damaged the car, didn't he? And couldn't take further part.
There's contact then between Camish and Turkington, and Collins off into gravel. Camish has broken suspension. I wasn't sure about that one, to be honest.
No, I was hoping that Camish's suspension was already broken when he hit Turkington the second time.
Yeah.
So otherwise, it was a very severe Aaron Taylor-Smith type kind of move.
Well, my first thought was his suspension must have been broken for the first contact. Because Camish isn't that kind of driver.
Yeah, no, I think that as well.
So the steering's broken, do we think?
I think so at that point.
But it fires Turkington off into the wall, which you don't see. That's a very rare sight.
Mm-hmm. And we get a brilliant battle for the lead. Hill and Sutton. Hill
mega.
Just manages to hold Ash off a few times. He gets better drive out the hairpin, which saves him on a few occasions when Ash gets on the outside to try for the switchback. And Jake Hill manages to hold him off and puts himself right back into championship contention, I think, with these two results.
Do you think Sutton could have been a bit more aggressive but was thinking about the title?
I don't, to be honest.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
He was being aggressive, and I think if he was thinking about the title, he probably wouldn't have hassled him quite as hard as he was.
Fair enough.
But I do take your point.
Yeah, this is where Hill nearly rolled it at the chicane, right?
Probably. I'm losing track of who was up on the curbs over there.
There was a point in this race where he takes the chicane, and there's like a slow-mo, and you're like, oh my word, it's like Chris James. That was in the corner, I know, but
yeah.
It was so on edge. And just, I love the way Hill was attacking that chicane where no other BMW was able to do that.
Yeah.
No, there was one BMW, it might have been Jelly's, who was actually taking the chicane properly.
Ah, okay.
You saw him on every lap, like just completely avoiding the curbs.
Yes, that's what I meant. Sorry, sorry, I'm with you. Someone was
for
driving around it.
For Hill to just smash it, and Sutton was doing the same every lap.
I get it in a front-wheel drive car, but normally in a rear-wheel drive car, you kind of avoid it, but not Hill.
No, it was such a great battle though, considering that there was no overtakes between the two of them pretty much at this point. But you didn't care. It was so good to watch.
That's what Formula One doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have to have DRS to have overtakes. Sometimes a battle doesn't have to have an overtake to be interesting.
We're going to talk about DRS on the next race. F1. Because there's a proposal going around about reverse DRS.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Reverse DRS? Which
might be fun.
Right.
But that's for F1, which is on holiday, so we will not speak of it again. So it was Hill, Sutton, Stephen Jelly took a distant third of this race, and you had Taylor Smith in fourth, which was a good result for him, and he didn't seem to hit anyone, which positive.
No, that is a great result.
Watson managed to hold on to ninth, despite his struggles in this race. Ingram got up to 10th, whereas Cook was 8th, and Rob Huff got points again of 14th.
And
I'm leaving it up to you since I forgot the first time.
Mikey Doble got 12th, another points finish.
Good one.
Exceptional.
And Lloyd in 5th, that's superb.
That is actually, yeah.
Ronan Pearson then gets the reverse grid draw. Number 7 gets pulled out by Jake Hill. Stephen Jelly, as we mentioned earlier, saved his soft tire for this race, which is brilliant because the rain starts 2 minutes before it. So everyone has to start bringing the safety car, and I think it's a rolling start, which you don't see very often.
No, very strange.
Jelly also had hybrid problems in this race, but he thought that the soft tire would negate those.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it didn't happen. And Taylor Smith retires pretty much right at the start. Safety car, I think, takes 6 laps to go around. And Ingram immediately gets past Watson. Lloyd, and then we get Ricky Collard having a bit of a fight going down Duffus. Collard gets airborne in this one.
That's the one I was thinking of earlier.
Found it. And Ash Sutton manages to jump past them all because everything just works out for Ash Sutton this weekend.
I thought that Toyota would be destroyed when it landed, but it's clearly driving a Hilux, not a Corolla.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I thought that as soon as that hit the deck and then he went into another car as well, I think briefly, I thought that car's out of the race. Yeah. And he still kept it going.
He did. Hill is getting very, very close to his teammate, Stephen Jelly, which is a a sign of things to come, let's say. And then Nick
Yeah.
Halstead bins it at turn 1. He just goes straight, which is bizarre.
Which is normal for Halstead, to be fair.
Is it bizarre?
Yeah.
I know. But it was like, did he have brake failure? Did he just lock up? Did he completely forget where he was?
I mean, if you look up there, you're going straight on, and it is easy to do.
Yeah.
But it's just he does it every weekend somewhere. Yeah, there's just a couple of drivers on the grid who I just think shouldn't be there, and he's one of them. To be fair,
You and Robo. Oh no, Robot.
Yes.
Hoisted
Well,
by
one
my
of them
own
has gone. I can't remember his name, but who left One Motorsport?
Oh, Will Powell.
Thank you. I could not remember his name.
I'm with you there,
Both
yeah.
of those two.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, he left under a cloud of, we won't get into that for fear of,
Of burning
lawsuits.
money.
Yes.
Yes.
So there's a safety car. There's some overtakes right just before the safety car, and I don't think, did they get flipped around just prior to it? The restart?
Hill got back ahead of Jelly, but it seemed to be at the restart
Right.
as opposed to behind the safety car. It wasn't clear though.
Well, Hill makes sure he's back past pretty quick at the restart. Because going down to the hairpin, he completely locks up an aquaplanes right in the back of his teammate and drops them both down out either. I think Hill's in the lower end of the points and Jelly's just nowhere.
Yeah.
Ruins both the weekends. And again, it's another meet where Hill is making progress and then he makes a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
To me, you might disagree. It looked like he tried to sort of. He could have gone past the stopped Jelly immediately.
Yes.
But was he trying to then let him rejoin and carry on? But then he realised at some point, he's not moving. And then he's got 3 penalty points and 3-place grid drop for that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a puddle on the inside on the entry of that, and if you hit that puddle, you had no chance, because I think Ronan Pearson hits it at one point, and it might have been when he let Sutton through for the lead. He hits it, and just the car just goes straight.
Yeah.
You had to drive around it, and
There's always been a
anybody
puddle
that hit it,
Yeah.
anybody that hit it just had no chance.
First time British touring cars were there in '92, there was a puddle there.
And it's been there ever since.
Been there ever since? Yes.
Oh dear. Sutton get past Lloyd at Clark's. Nobody really fights Sutton at this point, but yes, because he gets past Lloyd, and then, as I say, he gets past Pearson for the lead at this point. Josh Cook is making brilliant progress back up through the field.
Standard.
Jake Hill is recovering. It looks like he might gain some decent points, and then he makes another mistake at the hairpin. It looked like his car broke down initially, and then
that was a very odd moment, wasn't it?
And then it turned out it didn't. He just drove off the track.
It just looked like it was completely ruined and had no grip and no suspension was broken or something.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he just kept going.
Well, I thought, it's definitely a puncher.
Yeah. But no, it was just pure lack of grip from being off the track, it looked like.
Yeah.
Cook gets up to second, he gets past Lloyd, and he gets past Pearson fairly easy. Ingram goes for the pass on Dan Lloyd at the chicane, but Lloyd covers it well. There's a bit of contact, and I thought that Ingram kind of backed out of it after that bump. Adam Moffat's making a brilliant recovery. He had throttle problems in race 2, which meant he was down on power, but in race 3 he's making some moves, and we're seeing him on TV.
Yeah, he's looking good. And do you not think he's looking good he's looking much improved the last sort of 3 rounds?
Yes,
I think
definitely.
so.
And
I think
Cookies
one
as well.
I think one are getting on top of that car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's taking time, wasn't it? Remember as well, they weren't doing that mid-season test, which doesn't help.
True.
And Dan Lloyd goes sliding through a Duffer Stip, and Cord gets past him, as does Dexter Patterson. We then get a little heartbreaking moment as Tom Ingram comes up on the back of the local lad, Ronan Pearson, who's gone for his third place in his podium. And Pearson does the team job and pulls over and lets Tom Ingram go through. That must have been tough. But
yeah,
if he's wanting a drive next year, I'm sure that'll be a tick in the box for him.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else he could have done. Ingram, if Ingram wasn't in the same team as him, he would have got past him anyway, I think, just on pace. But you got to play the team game, as heartbreaking as it is.
Aye, but he's got his own sponsors there. I assume. So I hope he negotiated a good deal in the process on track.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll do it, but the next round is free.
Yeah. It didn't look like he was told to move over or anything, though. It looked like Ingram stuck her nose down and he was just like, I'm not getting involved with this. I'm staying out of the way. Because Ingram looked quite hesitant to go past.
But the post-race interview made it sound like it was all asked about, didn't it? It was very awkward, I thought. It was very Plato-esque, actually. I remember the time, well, many times Darren turned out to pull over for Plato in the seat.
Yeah.
And it was very much like that, I thought.
So, race 3, Sutton from Cook from Ingram in the end. There's a bunch of penalties. Do any of you want to talk about them? Because I'm not reading them.
No, there was just a lot going on, really.
Yes. So, at the end of all that drama, Ash Sutton now has a 37-point lead on Tom Ingram. It was 6 going into the weekend, and it ended up being 37. Thanks to that disqualification, Jake Hill is 50 points behind.
No, it's over.
Just hanging on in there.
Nah.
So we've got 3 rounds to go now. Oh, Mikey Double.
Yes. What did he get in this one? Was it 11th, I think? Yes.
Yes,
11th place.
It was.
Another good
3 points finishes.
So he is top of the Jack Sears Trophy standings, a point ahead of Andrew Watson now. So that's the title that we're going to be looking at.
Yeah,
of course. Good one.
You've got a 5-way title fight for that one. Not the real one.
Yeah. For me, it's just a 2-way fight now. And Ingram's only just there.
Yeah.
So that's your setup.
Sutton's got to have a bad meeting somewhere for either of them to come back into it.
Just look at the dominance this year, because he's had a couple of non-scores for crashes in the race 3, and yet he's still this far ahead. It's crazy, isn't it? I know that there's disqualifications, what's really caused that, but if you think of it, Sutton's already dropped his scores. Now Ingram's dropped the scores, and he's far behind. So it's like,
Did you see the interview they had with Ash at the beginning of the program, where he spoke about how after last year he thought, "Is there anything more I can do now back in front wheel drive?" And he said that he studied Tom Ingram to see how he was, because he was the benchmark, and he took more on board, and that's helped him to get quicker this year.
Interesting.
I thought that was very interesting.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, I suppose. I suppose he might have just added a few extra little, tiny bits to his skill set.
Yeah.
He was already clearly on a level with Ingram, I thought, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe he didn't think that. Last year was still good, but this year's just crazy, isn't it?
Grew his hair out a bit.
He grew his hair out a bit, combed it back. Used the word pointsy.
Oh, no.
Well, I just want to shout out to Dexter Patterson.
Yes.
6th position and got past Lloyd in the same car. Very good result.
Didn't look out of place up there as well. He was scrapping.
No.
It wasn't like he was holding on to the place. He was in there on merit.
I think he could have got Collard at the end as well, right? He was very close to Collard at the end.
The young boys have done well this weekend. He's obviously in his 2nd season now, but I mean, Ronan Pearson had a brilliant weekend as well.
He did. For the Scots.
The Scots doing well. Well, some of the Scots doing well at home.
Yeah.
Others not so much. So we've got 3 race meets left to go. Donington Park is next, 27th of August. Then we're on to Silverstone before the season finale at Brands Hatch. Donington Park will be the Grand Prix layout, which is something different for us.
Oh, true.
And then we also finish off with the Grand Prix layout at Brands Hatch in a couple of months' time. So we're on the home stretch now. Possibly a 2-way title fight. We'll wait and see how Donny goes. But we'll be back with that in a couple of weeks' time. Nick, Tom, any more for you guys?
No, I think that's it from me.
Just an enjoyable weekend of racing.
Probably the best weekend of BTCC this year.
Yeah, It's been a little subdued. That certainly wasn't.
Get the sprinklers on the track at Donny.
Well, it's always -6 at Donington Park, so that'll do it.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Right, we'll see you then. Thank you for downloading. Subscribe, all the usual stuff. And goodbye.
See ya.
See you later.